welcome to Brap Life. I'm Angel, and I'm here to help tell the stories behind the riders. This week we have Derek and Brandon. They're two fathers who have completely changed their lives to support their kids and themselves in racing. I remember meeting these guys, seeing them first in Battle of the Goats in April of 2024, and it was just so cool to see the entire family. That was my first hard enduro, so at that point I didn't have a lot of experience. But I remember watching all of them walking and just thinking it's so cool that like your whole family can be out here. But I didn't actually end up talking to them until months later in Ohio at Lightning Strikes, which was 4 or 5 rounds later. Um, and it was really cool because they were in a group and we started talking and they had actually listened to the podcast. So it was kind of awesome to just sit there and talk to them and find out their story. And then of course immediately I was like, we have to share this. Like this is amazing. So it's a little bit of a different format. This is the first time that we've had multiple people on at once for the duration of the podcast, but I think it worked out really well, and I really hope that you guys like it. In regards to the podcast in general, there are a few changes that are going to be coming, and I'm really excited to announce them, but it's going to be another couple weeks, so stay tuned for those. But again, I hope you guys enjoy this episode, and I'll see you next week.
Stoke.
Yeah.
Well, here we are. We are live, sirs.
Cool. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, welcome. So do you guys want to just give a quick introduction and then just go right into it? We were kind of talking before the podcast started for everyone listening, and it just kind of was like something we were about to roll into. So I'm just going to kind of let them keep going with what they were talking about after they introduce themselves real quick.
Yeah, I'm Brandon. I'm the guy with the dreadlocks. You see at some of the hard enduros. I got a kid that races hard enduro, Bentley, but we're a big family and we have a lot of racers. My oldest kids race and younger kids race, and I got a 3-year-old that does some hard enduro too. He's practicing.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Oh, I'm Derek. That is my hard enduro rider. We also have Anna and Logan in London. They all ride. Logan's kind of more of a motocross guy. That kind of ties into what we were just kind of talking about. And Anna, she's in Jaylee. They kind of battle her out in the women's. They like doing the hair scrambles and that kind of stuff too. So we have the wives. They ride and race and do all that stuff too.
Well, they do like pit bike races.
Yeah. Casey was out riding the enduro cross and stuff last night actually, but not so much. She was more swerving around everything. She was on 12, but she was having fun, so that's all that kind of matters.
Yeah, that's the important part.
Yeah, it is. We were kind of, before we started, we were just talking about like the
how the kids grew up, like where we started really.
It
was like 2020. We got dirt bikes, I think, wasn't it, for the kids?
Yeah.
And then,
so like, all right, he was like one day like, I don't know, I don't know, man.
We're botching it. We don't know how to start.
That's okay.
Well, we were talking about hard enduro, like the people of the hard enduros, how the like the race community and how welcoming it is and that kind of stuff. And that's kind of like all together. It was like, that's kind of what brought us into it. Was like kind of the start was at hair scrambles, like just dirt bikes. Well, like
I say let's go to 2020 when we got dirt bikes, because COVID.
Let's start at the beginning.
COVID was popping off, and we're like, let's get these kids a dirt bike and put them in, ride around in the woods.
Hanson stayed open during COVID.
Yeah, our local off-road park
where they had the Iowan
like hard enduro. We were riding there, and there was Ron Whipple was.
No, you were like, You're like, I'm gonna do this race on my dirt bike, and this is
Oh,
when
yeah.
the first Iowan, the very first Iowan was happening, and he's got a 450 Honda. Never like probably what, a month of practice.
Yeah, I only had it for like a month.
He's like, you want to come out and watch me ride this? And I go out there and
It was a 2008 Honda. That thing was heavy.
it was not the bike for what you're about
Not
to
for a
do.
hard enduro.
And I go out there and we see this stuff. And I didn't have a dirt bike. I was, I think, 32 at the time. And we had a dirt bike when we were a kid. And like, we go out there and I see this stuff that they're going to ride. And I'm like, there is no way. Like, there's no way anybody's riding this. It's going to be impossible. Like,
Yeah, we never
BJ's not going to make it through
I
any
never
of
even
this.
seen what hard enduro was.
I didn't even know what woods racing was. Like,
Yeah.
dirt bikes was like motocross and tracks, and that was like really all I knew. Like, we did a little trail riding through pastures when we were kids, but like didn't know that it was like
we didn't know
this.
it was a thing. Anything in the woods, we didn't know.
Yeah, so it was like that day come the day of the hard enduro, and like I had a little pit bike that I was cruising around on. I'm like, I gotta see this. Like, so we're cruising around, dude, like an eighth of a mile in, like I lose him like in the hills of Hanson's Hollow. Like, he's just gone.
I fell off a cliff like right away. And that bike
Oh, no.
and that bike was heavy. Like, and I was fat. I was out of shape.
Yeah,
I was terrible.
no business being out there in the first place.
But I tried.
Yeah, and so I was like ripping around, all excited, like, and people are making this stuff, and I'm seeing like these huge rock ledges and the rocky creeks and over logs, and I'm like, holy shit! I'm like, I need to do this. Like, I need to get a dirt bike, and I need to learn how to do this, and like. Dude, it was over after that. Like, a couple weeks go by and I'm like scrolling through Marketplace and talking to the wife and trying to buy a bike. And my birthday comes up and she buys me a 450. Like, I'm like,
the
dude,
worst bike to look.
she didn't know. Like, she tried. I mean, she did great. And like,
it was an XC though.
No, that first one wasn't.
It
It
was
had
an
Kickstart.
S? Oh,
Yeah,
no.
It was a 2017 Kawasaki, and not the bike. It was like a leftover model from that they couldn't sell. They sold her cheap, and and
you got there.
like we went out to Hanson's that weekend, and that's when we met Ron Whipple. He's like, he puts on the WFO
Hair Scramble series in Illinois.
Yeah, District 17 Hair Scramble series, and like he was out there cruising around and putting up flags and ribbons. I'm like, dude, what is this guy doing?
We didn't know
like,
what he was doing.
I thought the race was done. Like, I thought the hard enduro already happened, and there was, I didn't ever hear about racing in the community before. And I go up to Ron, ask him, and he's like, "Oh, I'm putting on a hair scramble next weekend." And I'm like, "Oh, dude!" Like, I asked him who could enter, and he's like, "Anybody." I'm like, "Well, I'll be there."
We signed the boys up too.
Yeah,
we signed Thad and Bentley up.
Thad was
he
was 10 and 8, or 10
Bentley
and 9.
Was like 8, I think.
Yeah,
Thad was probably 9.
Yeah,
and Bentley was on like a 100.
Yeah,
X100. He belonged on a 65.
Yeah,
he could not.
We did it all backwards.
Yeah,
Thad was on a 100. He had like a month's experience of riding.
Yeah.
Like
oh, it was bad.
Yeah,
they barely knew how to use the clutch.
And we're setting up through hands.
We sent them on a hair scramble.
The WFO, they quit having hair scrambles at Hanson's because it's rougher and rocky, and they're more of a fast-paced series. And it's just, they kind of backed off, and like we're sending the kids with no experience through out there, and like it was like 45-minute race, and they were gone for like 40 minutes, and they come through rolling through the creek like wide open, just sketchy as hell, and just a big smile on their face. And I knew
Bentley was crying.
He was. He had to go around the creek.
Bentley, he
didn't
want to go around that creek.
Go through the creek.
It looked like he's seen the devil. Like It was in his eyes. He's like, oh my god.
Yeah, Thad rolled up though. He had a big smile, and he's just he went for another lap, and it took another half hour or whatever. But man, he was like, it was like since then Bentley was scared, and like that's when like the girls they seen it, and then like Anna drew her in, and
Jaylee.
Logan didn't have a bike, I don't think at that time either, but it was like shortly after that we got his.
Jaylee went to
his bike.
65 beginner class.
Yeah, it was just like, and then it was like 2 weeks later was the next race, and then it was like,
then it was
every single weekend we were like going to hare scrambles, and then we're like, oh, there ain't a hare scramble this weekend, let's go to a motocross race, and then we were riding motocross, and then we were doing like pit bike races and GPs.
We were doing fair races, like
like
we were riding woods during the weekdays, and then we go hit a fair race.
Yeah,
jump our bikes. I wouldn't. I'd send the kids out.
Yeah,
I'm not doing that.
But it was just like every weekend, anything we could ride was like, we were going racing. Like our family was packing up, and we were gonna travel 3 hours to go race somewhere, and it like super changed our lives, because like before that
we were just drunk
all
the time.
We just hang out. We hung out with the kids, go camping and drink, but like that's all we did. Go to the beach, drink, go do this, drink, and we kind of like dirt bikes. Like we did the moose run.
Dirt bikes, it was like
we had to wake up
tired
early.
of being hungover and trying to ride. So that was a big part of it.
Going to the races, hungover.
But no,
was
like
terrible.
we realized like the kids, like we didn't have like this racing thing when we were younger, and whatever it is, I'm so glad they have it.
Yeah,
because they're like awesome. Those kids are so cool out of it.
It was a lot of fun. It really like taught them a lot, pushed them, and showed them a whole different life than what we grew up. Like we grew up in town, like
in the city,
and then
of Dubuque, Iowa.
Really. We skateboarded and partied and just kind of hung out with friends, and didn't really think. I never really thought I'd be traveling and to races. Like when we first started, like an hour away, like holy shit, we got to drive an hour to a race. It's like
now we did Battle of the Goats. Me and my wife decided we were taking Bentley there this year, like 5 hours before we left. It was crazy. It was like, she's like, why are we not going to Battle of the Goats? I'm like, I don't know. Like, I thought you didn't want to go. And she's like, no, we're like, if you want to go, we're going. So I'm like, all right. We packed the bikes and hit the road. It was crazy.
Oh my God.
Like,
that's awesome. I love the fact that it's such a.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, I was just going to say, I just love the fact that it's such a family thing for you guys. Like a lot of people, it's like, the dad goes, or like the dad and the son go, but like your girls all ride and your wives ride. Like that's really cool. And they want to be a part of it. That's the bigger thing. Like everybody is just like all together. And
dude, I wouldn't. Well, I'd say I wouldn't be able to do it without like all the support from my wife. I mean, like when we go, she'll like pack us lunches so we don't have to stop at the gas station.
If the wives go, it's so good. Because like you eat good.
Oh
and then like the Ohio race, Twin Wenzel's, we drove 9.5 hours. We slept
after
in the truck.
Work, slept in the truck for 3 hours. We had our sandwiches that Casey packed. We forgot to get ice.
Yeah.
And then so the next day we had hot ham and cheese sandwiches that were left over.
No, you had hot ham and cheese. I was not eating that. Well, it baked.
It was
all day.
Yeah, it probably wasn't the best choice, but
you had like 6.
I was starving.
But, like if they're there, like the kids get fed, we get fed, and like everything's cold or like how it should be.
Yeah,
we
properly taken care of, and
life is good when the wives show up.
Yeah, for sure. It's a lot more organized.
Yeah, like the kids eat poorly when.
I wouldn't say poorly, but definitely
like
not.
Hot bananas.
We forget ice. I mean, dude, we kind of got to sacrifice. But whatever, man. They're way out in the middle of nowhere. You can't always run for necessities.
But they'll remember it.
Yeah.
I drove 9 hours with them.
Or like when we went to Arkansas and we got there and we didn't even bring food. We figured there'd be somebody selling food, and it was like to get to the place. It was like 45 minutes down like this narrow level B gravel road, and we're like, dude, what are we gonna do? Like, we didn't bring food.
We had,
and
it was
like the lady told us to just drive the dirt bikes into town and to take these back roads, and we did. And we get into town and there's a cop sitting there. I'm like, oh shit!
And we're on dirt bikes with the kids. Like, we didn't know where to go.
So they pull up to the cop and we ask them, where's there a restaurant around here? And Bentley, he jumps across the bank, the grass.
Like grass. He starts hard throwing.
Ripping right, Dude, rips right through the bank grass parking lot and takes off. And I just look at the cop and I'm like, see ya. But it's like stuff like that
they're going to remember.
Yeah, dude, they're going to remember for the rest of their life. And it was getting dark on the way back. And we were like way up in the woods of Arkansas. And somebody had the map and it blew out, and I just happened to see it like on the road or like there. And luckily we stopped because we had to stop, and we're like, our headlights barely worked, and we're like checking it out and trying to find our way back. And it's like, it's
crazy.
It wasn't good.
But they'll remember that.
Yeah. They'll definitely remember that.
That's what it's
all
That's
of it.
Adventure.
Yeah, dude, every single time, like the storms, sleeping in the camper through numerous storms, like the trailer just sounds like it's gonna explode, and they're just ripping in the wind, and it's terrifying. And like they're telling people on the news to take shelter, and we're just sleeping in a trailer at Iron Man GNCC. Like, what the hell? But it's an adventure. It just keeps on going.
So what classes does everybody race now?
All right. So I race B class.
Sandbagger.
And he says I'm a sandbagger. So I won 30B last year for a hair scramble series. But I raced B class. Bentley, Jaylee races. Her last race she did, like big one, was the IXCR. And she raced pro women's, and she's 15. So I think she got 4. Yeah,
it's not bad.
And there was like, I think 12 or 15 other girls. So, and she had a bad crash too. I think she might have got concussed, but she still she was throwing up. So it was a hard,
not good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bentley's youth light.
Yeah.
And then I have Charlie. She likes riding more. She doesn't race much. She's 8, but she rides electric class, electric 80 or 50 Husqvarna.
Nice.
And then I got Rad. He's gonna just be an animal.
Yeah. He should probably just go to C class.
Enduro. Like, his favorite thing is hard enduro. He's got electric.
And he's 3. So by the time he's like 6, he's gonna be like A class hard enduro.
I got Rad.
There's actually
I got him a clothing brand deal with Little Trouble. It's called. Like, it's so funny.
That's so
cool.
They
like on my Instagram, and they liked Rad. So
that's
really cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So and then I raced B class. And then Thad, he's kind of like youth for hard enduro. He does the youth 12 to 15, and he does C class, and he's probably just gonna go to B next year. I mean,
Bentley does B outside.
He kind of he excels more at hard enduro, so he'd probably be B class next year. Is probably the plan that we're gonna go for Thad.
Next year you're gonna do B?
Yeah.
Oh dang. You're skedaddling out of youth. He can do youth next year.
He's 15.
Let him and Bentley.
Let him and Bentley battle it out.
Chase.
Yeah, because you can
that
go
youth
off of
class
the
is so
AMA
cool.
because he'll be 15 through half the year, I guess.
Gage Hill, that kid's
Yeah.
a beast.
Oh yeah,
They're so fun.
dude.
And then
Them youth classes
Mac
are
is
awesome.
too.
Just
Yeah.
watching them young kids, they're
They go
freaking
hard.
wild.
They go so hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that actually the whole idea for the podcast happened because of McConna Barger, who's in A class, who's only 15 years old.
Yeah,
And
he was
I
at
met
that we were at.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I
He was
at
like
TKO.
right next to us at TKO this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's wild.
I listened to his podcast. That was super cool. He's like big into nutrition and stuff.
Yeah,
like huge.
Not me.
He's like pumped about it. He's really good about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That stuff
he's
helps.
really good.
I can see where
It does.
Eating right would be probably a better choice. I ate a pizza while I was about to sleep. The kids work at a pizza place, so like they just bring home pizzas every night. They get to bring home a pizza and they threw it on top, and you know, it's like scarfing her down.
Jaylee and we work at that pizza place, so we have double pizzas like stacked in the fridge. We'll have like 4 pizzas at a time.
Yeah, that's what we got too. It's
when I talked to Riley, he was telling me that like because we were started talking about fitness and nutrition, and obviously you know he's a high level athlete, and he's like, so funny story. He's like, there's actually like 5 races in a row that I ate McDonald's for breakfast for each race, and I won every race.
That's crazy.
I was like, so McDonald's is the secret? And he's like, no, but kind of.
Them young guys, I wish I was able to do this when I was young.
Oh, dude,
All I did was like skateboard. I skateboarded so much, but I loved it. But this would have been cool.
Well, and that's what I told him. Like, I wanted a dirt bike when I was young. I didn't get into it until I was like almost 30, and I'm 34 now. And it's just like, what would my life have been like had I actually been able to dirt bike when I wanted to when I was 5 years old? You know, I could be, you know, at such a cool level versus where I'm at right now. But everything happens for a reason. I believe in life. But I have a lot of drive and determination now that I probably personally wouldn't have had when I was a kid. I'm just glad I found it in general, because I don't know what I would do without dirt bikes, honestly. Like it has given me the best people.
Riding dirt bikes. Oh my god, the people are the bomb. Everyone you meet. Like motocross people are like motocross people. And then there's like hair scramble people that I think are really cool. And then there's like hard enduro people, and they're like, holy cow, these people are like the bomb.
Yeah. Back to your
everyone's so nice.
Like how you were talking about like having drive when you like not having the drive when you were younger. Like I kind of agree with that, because like to do hard enduro, like when I was younger, I don't think I would have like probably done it as much, because like now I enjoy like, I guess, punishing myself and being out there and like seeing what I'm actually capable of doing, where I think when I was younger, I think I might have gave up a little bit sooner.
Yeah.
And you see so much nature out there.
Yeah.
The things you see on your dirt bike, like other people don't see that. They don't ride.
Yeah.
Like they might if they hike, but they're not hiking as far as we ride.
Yeah, exactly.
Some people
I think it just like, for me, it totally changed my life. Like you guys talked about, you know, you quit drinking and everything. I kind of did the same thing. Like last year, I really decided that I wanted to increase my skills on my bike. So I was on a TTR 125. And I was like, first of all, I need to get off of that bike and onto a real bike. And that was kind of the point where I decided, like you said, it's the same thing of I was waking up with hangovers, and, you know, it just like, you know, on the weekend, I want to go riding, but then my friends want to go out and drink. And so it's like, what do you pick? And so I was picking both, and that was absolutely terrible.
Dude, it makes it tough.
Yeah.
It does.
We did that
I'm 4 years without alcohol this year. I think December was 4.
That's awesome.
That's good. we just like cut it out completely. We were just over it. We partied a lot when we were
Yeah.
younger.
I think what did it
Yeah.
for me, like my final straw, was the Moose Run for the MXC when
Yeah.
we stayed up late drinking and having a good time. It was, and then
Yeah.
it was like, yeah, it was
We
just
woke
late,
up
and then
and-
I woke up and I got 3rd place. I didn't do as good as what I was hoping, and I knew I was dragging ass because I was out
probably would've got
partying
a
the night
DUI on
before,
a
and then it's
bicycle.
like, oh yeah.
You crossed some county roads, they could have popped you with the DUI. You drank so much.
Oh, jeez.
And
were
so
hungover.
it was like, it's just kind of, I knew I could do better, and I knew that it wasn't really the kind of the way, and I wanted to kind of lead a better life and be
Especially for the kids.
for the
like,
kids, yeah, set a better
that was a
example
huge-
and be a bigger role
huge part
model.
of
And
it. Like they don't. We were partying, but those kids were always taken care of. But
Yeah.
they were. I don't know.
Oh.
Seeing us like hungover wasn't cool.
yeah,
Hanging out and drinking and talking was like overrated.
Yeah.
I'd rather like put that energy on the kids.
yeah,
I think.
we did have a lot of fun
Yeah.
times with them though.
Yeah, but you were like jumping bikes over fires.
yeah,
we were getting crazy.
yeah.
Now we all
Yeah.
were.
So, but yeah, it's, I don't know. I'm glad that I quit drinking. I was getting fat and lazy,
Oh, you're
and dude, I was
hefty,
husky.
dude.
I've
I was
lost like 35 pounds probably. I don't really eat better, but
Nice.
just cutting out drinking and doing more. You know, like we go riding like every like Saturday and Sunday. We're usually riding. Actually, before we did the interview, we were out riding the trials bike around.
Yeah.
We got a trials bike and. I got an enduro cross course and a woods course in our backyard, and it's just like all the time we just we just go out riding.
The kids like Bentley's only 14, but he drives over here from my house. I
Yeah,
probably shouldn't say that. I'll get arrested. No, but they'll like load his bike up in the truck and bring it over here, and they'll ride. They practice.
yeah. For
I think that's
like,
great
all
though.
day. Like they'll just spend hours
Yeah.
like going hard. And
They do.
You guys have given them something to really put their energy into. You know, they're at that age where, well, this day and age, there's not a lot of kids who put energy into anything, first of all.
Yeah.
And
They
then
do a lot.
second of all, the ones that do tend to put it into, you know, things that aren't that great, whether, you know, it's getting into trouble or TikTok, which, you know, TikTok's fine. I use TikTok, but like, you know, when that's all you do, or like, you know, all you do is play video games or whatever. But this is something that's good for them. It's mentally stimulating. It's very physical. Like you
And
guys are
they're
saying, like,
so much. Like,
yeah, exactly.
I love when they're outside. That's like when
And you guys are doing this all together as like a family. Like it's not, you know, it's not just like a solo thing. Like, yeah, being on your dirt bike is very much a solo activity, but you can still do it in a group.
yeah,
It's
and
still a
really
community,
cool, like,
even
it's
though
cool
you're solo.
having Derek, and then because like if I can't make it for work, or if Derek can't make it because he has something going on, like I'm like I'll take Bad because I took Bad to Battle of the Goats,
Yeah,
and he rode with Bentley, and he like come off the course with like no tire, like his bib fell out and everything. It was nuts.
yeah.
But,
We
like,
take the girls and we take Bentley, and we kind of
You took Jaylee to a
swap them all
GNCC,
around, and
like,
it's confusing for people because nobody knows
who our
whose kids is whose, because we're always bringing, you know, with 4 and 4, and we're always bringing different ones back and forth all the time, and everybody's like, well, whose kids are yours? And it's like it takes people a long time to get it all straight.
Like everyone,
the
Iowans, I don't know, because the people call us Iowans because of the Iowan Hardendale. That's where we're from. So they're like, well, we live in Iowa too. But, they usually know. The Bredekamps.
Yeah, we definitely do a lot, like as a big family. Like over the weekend, we had a hog roast, and my old man cooked a hog, and there was like probably 80 people plus here, you know, 15 people that were riding bikes. I set up a course through the backwoods. And
of course, it took me B class.
I was gonna say, this is what you guys just posted on YouTube, right?
We did,
just put it up.
Yeah. It took.
I
marked it so I could watch it.
they're
I
cool.
haven't watched it yet, but
We did Hanson's first in the morning.
Yeah, we were all way
So we
too
were already
tired.
tired when we
Like,
got here. But anyway, his enduro cross course in the backyard took me 8 minutes and 52 seconds to complete a lap.
yeah, and
It's-
that's you being
Wow.
able to hit stuff
And that's going
before and
fast.
know it
like,
a little
or
bit.
my fast. I'm not that fast. But
Tobin Miller, he
Tobin
was
Miller
there.
was
He did
here,
it in
yeah.
like 7 minutes and
33 seconds.
yeah, 33 seconds. He stopped and he raced a couple races, a couple
Yeah.
local hare scrambles that weekend.
And we were
He
riding
come
with
from a
the-
local hare scramble, so I bet he was. Well, he,
Oh yeah, he got first.
yeah,
didn't
yeah, first.
he? Fox Valley.
Yeah,
Tobin did.
cool.
Tobin would come out.
yeah.
And then
Yeah.
in the morning we were riding with Tucker, his younger brother.
Yeah, dude, they're
Yeah.
wild.
Hanson's.
And Charlie Wilterdink
Charlie
was out there.
Wilterdink.
He's wild
Yeah,
too.
He's so fun.
Dude,
to ride.
watching them guys and being able to ride with like people of better caliber, you know,
Yeah.
they're at different levels and
I like-
Yeah.
I
like
kids
when-
are able
I
to
like when
ride with
Bentley
them.
and Dad ride with them because we can't, like, we're the bomb, don't get me wrong. But we can't show them that next level that they need to be at because we don't know
Yeah.
how we're
Like
learning with
it's
them.
I don't know
Like-
what to tell them to do better because they're
They're
better than I
us.
am.
So I with like Tobin and Tucker and Charlie and like even
Yeah.
Wyatt.
Yeah,
Wyatt's
Wyatt-
super good too.
Wyatt's
Wyatt
awesome.
Holger.
He's another local kid, and that's
He just
another
went to
thing
A.
that's cool. There's like
So it's
the
cool
dirt
that
bike
they-
community in like our small town and like the couple neighboring towns. There's a lot of young kids that ride dirt bikes,
Yeah.
and I mean they're all pushing each other and riding together, and a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
don't have that. And you know, you go to the races and you talk to people, and they wish that they had more people to ride with, and it's like, dude, they're pretty
Well-
fortunate to have like 8 to 10 people all always pushing each other to ride better
Some
and
of
ride
those-
faster.
Some of those
and-
kids like live in towns. They can't ride.
yeah, they can't too. And
Yeah.
ours are very capable. We have a track. Hanson's is 10 minutes away. Like,
There's another off-road
oh,
park.
Whispering
5
Meadows is
miles
not
away.
too far.
We have 2 off-road parks right here. in
So, like,
Spragueville.
they're all very fortunate to be able to ride with each other and push each other. And that's
But it's crazy
Yeah.
because Iowa and Iowa's like mostly flat besides this side.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like because we're by the Mississippi, so
Yeah. It's pretty flat. We're like
it's flat everywhere.
super
else.
hilly and rocky and
We got
wild
bluffs.
terrain.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I love where we live.
It was really funny because I saw the ad for the Iowan this year, and I was really confused about there being a hard enduro in Iowa because I lived in Minnesota
yeah.
for 10 years, and I was like, Iowa has a hard enduro? What?
Yeah.
And then I saw the pictures, and I was even more confused. I thought it was fake
He
because
put,
I was like,
Eric helped put it
I
on.
was like,
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
way.
Dude,
And
it's
then
wild.
and then I talked to people. I was like, that's so cool. I didn't even know Iowa could look like that.
Well,
like, that's
Minnesota's
freaking
gonna have
awesome.
one too, aren't they?
I
Minnesota might be having something.
I've heard, but I haven't heard like anything official. I heard that stuff was being planned,
I
but
heard
I
it
don't
was.
know.
yeah, dude, there should be
Yeah.
a Midwest hard enduro series.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
that'd be sweet. Dude, we got to travel so far. Next year, I want to do some West
Mhm.
Coast hard enduro races.
Yes,
but
I want to do the one in Idaho.
yeah, it's like a
Silver
jaunt,
Kings, that
dude.
was
It's-
cool.
You got to really.
Is that what it is? Silver Kings?
Silver
in
Kings,
Idaho?
yeah, in
Yeah, that's what I
Idaho.
want.
Yep.
Yeah. I haven't
That
been.
was so I didn't race, but my friend did, and I went because it was her birthday that weekend, and so like it was this whole big thing. So I went out there and I showed up and I was like, all right, they said it's on a mountain, it's like a ski resort thing or whatever. And then I was like, this is way bigger than I thought it was gonna be. Like
It's quite
I don't
huge.
know why. It was gigantic. And so you have to like take this gondola up, and it's like the longest gondola in all of North America, I think.
Oh.
And it took like half an hour to ride up. And I was like, good Lord, I can't imagine like to get up there before the race even starts. They all start at the bottom and then they have to ride the road all the way up there. So like you're warmed up by the time you get up there to start.
Dang.
So
That's
Dude,
sick.
that's wild.
I love ski
it was
resorts.
intense.
We did that one in Michigan.
Oh,
the
yeah.
UP Upper Peninsula.
I
It
don't
was
even
like
remember where that was.
Indian Head Resort. It was like a Wisconsin series, hare scramble series. It was on a ski resort though. It was sick.
Yeah, I don't even remember what that was, but that was cool. The views from that place were pretty sweet,
Yeah.
but I'm sure it's nothing on what Idaho
No.
has.
No, it's probably nothing.
Dude, yeah, I want to
Idaho
travel
was
out.
gnarly. There was some, it looks like a field of just rocks, like, but on the side of the mountain going up. And they're like going up that. I was like,
That would be
how?
crazy.
Just how?
It would be like the waterfall here,
Oh,
like
yeah.
100 times. Just
Oh yeah, I
nonstop
can't
going
even
up.
imagine.
That'd be
Well, try
sick.
it. I can't wait
I'd
to
try it,
see
yeah.
what's out there.
Oh yeah. I was like, I think after watching you guys ride, I think you could do it.
We've done
I
some
think you guys
crazy
would have fun.
races. I went
Yeah.
to Tough Like
You guys would
Roar.
definitely
too.
have
Yeah.
fun.
Tough Like
Yeah,
Roar.
Roar was
That was a tough one.
yeah.
I went through a couple foot
Yeah.
pegs. So.
Yeah. I haven't gotten to do
Yeah.
a lot of racing this year. I've had bike issues and all kinds of
You
stuff.
just got your bike put back together last week.
Yeah, it's just always something, and I try to just make sure the kids are running first before mine, and
Yeah.
it's just
my bikes have the forks off them right now because I've been buying parts for Bentley.
yeah,
I
dude.
think we're gonna try to make the Mad Moose. So,
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
we're planning on
That's a
going
good
up there too.
yeah.
Them hard enduros are hard on bikes, man, for sure. It's wild. Like I
Yeah.
gotta add another pipe.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Got that
geez.
ordered yesterday, and I think that's the third one this year.
We just got that hookup from
Dude,
Bulletproof.
yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Bentley got a bunch of stuff from them. That was
That's
nice.
awesome. I did see that.
Yeah.
I think that's
Dude, all
really
that
cool.
stuff
You guys are
helps.
starting. Yeah, you guys are starting to get support. You guys are starting to be seen by people, and I think that's great because you guys, like I said, you have a great story. You know, you guys are all about family, and that's huge,
Yeah,
especially in
it's
this
so
community
cool.
because like the whole hard enduro community in general, at least for me, somebody who's alone a lot, you know, I go to these events and that's when I'm around the most people. And I started in April not knowing anybody. And now I go to the events and I know like half of the people who are there at least.
Yeah.
And
I know
it's so
someone,
cool.
Like anywhere I go, they're like, sometimes I don't remember your name, but I like do remember meeting you people at these races.
Yeah.
But everyone knows me because of my dreadlocks.
Yeah, you
Like,
stand out.
Yeah.
Or my black arm maybe.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely stand
But-
out. And then you come in rolling with the big families and shit like
or
that.
you
and
show
a lot
up,
of
you
people.
look like a wrestler.
A wrestler.
Yeah, you look like WWF.
I don't know about
Like
that.
mankind. Oh yeah, it's a
So
podcast.
you said it. So you want to go to Silver Kings next year? So
Yeah.
are there any other races that you want to try and get to that you haven't
All of
got
them.
to so far?
All of them.
All of them.
Yes,
Yeah,
I want to
dude.
take Bentley everywhere next year for sure. Like I
So,
want to go to
I-
as many races as I can in my life. That's my goal. in life.
As I hopefully by the time this is released, this will be announced. But from what I've been told, one of the premier races is going to be on Hawaii this year.
Oh,
So,
really?
You gonna
Dude, that'd be wild.
try and make it to that one?
Dude, I
That'd
don't
be
know
insane.
about that.
I'm just like a guy. Like,
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know.
Kids will have to pick up some extra hours
Yeah.
at the pizza joint.
They
Either
have
way.
to make a lot of pizzas too.
Yeah.
If you tell them though, I bet you they'd get all of a sudden
they'd
they'd be
be
like, all right,
motivated.
motivated.
Definitely be
Don't they like
motivated.
ship bikes out of California though, or something?
Yeah.
What?
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
I think what they
Mom
did,
just got
yeah.
that ranch
You
in
can-
California.
Yeah.
We could tell her to take the bikes down there and ship them for us, and we could fly there. That'd be sick.
Yeah, probably not happening for
Yeah.
this guy
Let
next
us,
year.
let us
but
buy
it'd
some lottery tickets, and then
be- the only way
There
is
you
if
go.
Anna says she
Yeah.
wants to go, and if she races it, she's
That'd be
definitely
so
gets-
cool.
it would
Yeah.
be cool. I do
I
want
wanna-
to do some new ones though, because
Yeah.
we've done
Mhm.
TKO like
3
times.
years in a row.
Then
2
we did
years
it
in
last
a
year
row.
on his Super Mini.
Yeah, it's
TK.
112.
So not this last one, not 2024,
Mhm.
but 2023. Bentley did a full lap on his KX 112. hit TKO.
Wow.
That bike blew
That's
up.
intense.
We just rebuilt it before the race, and by the time he was done, that bike was blown up.
Didn't the clutch go out of it during that?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, TKO is so hard on stuff.
Yeah.
It's definitely a
Didn't Thad do
hard
it last
race.
year too?
Thad did it last year, and he beat me in qualifying. But then he didn't beat me at the race. But at race 1, I beat him. And then race 2, I ended up in the hospital.
Oh yeah, you had a heat
I
stroke.
pushed too hard.
Oh,
Pushed way too hard.
I was just taking videos of him. He was like getting fanned.
Yeah,
by
all the
paramedics.
kids, they're like Snapchatting their friends
I got
and
my
taking
phone out.
videos, and I'm like on
It's
the
hilarious.
verge of death. I'm like, oh no, I'm not gonna make it. And they're
He had
like, Derek,
oxygen.
look.
He had oxygen in his nose, like couldn't even breathe. And I'm just like, oh, Derek, look, say hi to mom. I gotta send this.
It was rough.
Ken's
But,
gotta
like,
see this.
It was just hot. I pushed too hard.
Yeah.
I wanted to make it. My goal was
And you were
silver,
fat.
and
You were
no,
fat
I
too.
wasn't fat. Man. I lost some. I was pretty lean.
No, you weren't.
No, I was a little huskier.
You had too many donuts.
Probably. But yeah, it was like just wanted to push to the end and didn't quite make it. After Uphill Swamp, I'm glad my clutch went out, so I didn't have all the issues in the woods. And it was like I made it back to the truck before I started.
You still made it farther than me both years.
Yeah, I know.
I broke my clutch this year, clutch line, like right after I started race 2, and I was doing really good, and I like jumped that rock thing and hit a tree.
Rock thing?
Yeah, you could like go up the rock or go around the rock, or you could hit the rock like a jump. It was like right after the creek section.
Yeah.
Like it was not far into the race. Right there, I jumped the rock to make a pass, and I hit a tree.
Oh,
And
I know
the
what
guy-
you're talking.
I hit the guy too a little bit, and I said I was sorry, and he said he was sorry. And it was okay because I was at a hard enduro race, and everyone gets along.
Yeah.
And everyone's having a good time.
Yeah.
It was so
That's
cool.
again the community.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Is like, and that goes back to all of that. Like I've talked about this before, is that competitors in hard enduros will help each other. You
Oh,
don't see
dude,
that in
yeah.
motocross
Like-
or anything else.
Yeah.
Before I lose thought of that, that was like Chase DeLong's dad.
Oh, dude,
So
yeah,
this
that
was
was
in
awesome.
Ohio.
When we were at Ohio at Lightning Strikes, Chase DeLong, I think he was in first
He's a
place.
huge rider, if you don't know.
He was coming in up to this hard section, and he tried going straight up because there was people hung up to the left side, and Gage Hill. Well, his dad come up, and his dad, he waited, watched him struggle for a little bit, and he was hung up good. So his dad come up and was going to help him. Well,
He was riding.
Gage
Ryan
Hill, he was,
that's
yeah,
Chase's
and
dad.
Gage Hill was coming up, and he come up behind, and he kind of got up and was going to go to the way to the left, and he was stuck too. And Chase DeLong's dad, he went and helped Gage Hill and got him going, and then he went back to helping his own boy. And it's like,
You
dude,
don't see
I've
that
been to a
nowhere.
lot of hair scrambles, and I have never seen
Yeah.
that kind of, like, a person helping the competitor get going before they even help their own kid. And
But
like,
it just made it easier
was
for
like-
him to get Chase out too. So like it made
it
all
was,
made
yeah, it
sense.
kind of,
But you wouldn't
I see
that
why
in a
he did it,
motocross
but
race.
yeah, you wouldn't see
Could you
that.
imagine a
Dude,
50s
no.
dad? Like,
You seen that at a hair
Oh.
scramble, and the guy would be yelling at the kid to get out of the way and helping him, and it's like, dude, at a hit, that's just, you don't see that. It's awesome, and it's like, I was like, holy cow, that is cool, because you
Yeah.
just don't see it. So
Yeah, I mean, even at, you guys are talking about Tough Like Roar. That was a hard race for a lot of people for a lot of reasons. It was
that
hot.
super hard.
It was a hard course. A lot of people were struggling. A lot of people ran out of water. I just happen to be somebody who carries extra water in general. So like I handed out like 6 extra waters to people who were like coming by, and they're like, "Do you happen to have water?" I was like, "Yeah."
Yes. I beat
but-
Ben to get that race. I'm so happy.
I watched so many people I was on one of the Stairway to Heavens, and I watched so many racers help pull other racers up. Or like one kid, he didn't like, he made it to the bottom and he was so tired. He's like, I think I'm done. But then some other kid got stuck like halfway up and he like hiked up there and helped pull the kid's bike through.
Yeah.
And so that guy could keep going. And
awesome.
I was like, that's really cool. Like, where else would you see that? Because he was like, I'm done. Like, I don't have anything more to give. But then when it comes to helping somebody else, he was able to help.
Found it in them.
So
he found it in him.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And
to
then-
help somebody get farther ahead.
Yeah.
That's
And I
good.
think that really like kind of helped him like kind of, you know, get back in the game. It really reset him because then he did get back on his bike and he struggled through it, but he made it through. And at least out of that section, I don't know how much farther he made it, but it was just so cool.
That kid's
And
gonna carry into life, like having
exactly.
that,
And that was
like,
that's where I was
someone,
gonna
just
go
when
about.
you're that beat down.
Yeah,
still
when
gonna
you're
have,
like at the when you can't do it anymore, and then you see somebody,
Yeah.
and
like
just
that's
go
what that
help
kid's
'em.
gonna think is right to do.
Mhm.
Well, and that's
so
what your
sick.
guys' kids are seeing too. You know,
Yeah,
you guys' kids
yeah.
are learning a resilience that you don't learn in life in anything else. You know,
Yeah, it's
This
like
is-
Those ladies in the hair scramble like series that our daughters race, they're so nice to each other.
oh yeah, all them girls.
Like if one wrecks, like they'll stop and be like, "Are you okay?" And
Dude,
it's
and there's
so
a
cool.
lot.
Like,
There's
those
a
girls
lot
are
of them.
sick.
There's like the local hair scramble series
Yeah,
for the
WFO.
girls. There's a lot. There's like 12 sometimes
Yeah, like
of
12
them
or
girls.
15 women like line
Um,
up every time, and they're all so nice to each other.
Yeah, and it makes for that's like one of my favorite classes to watch when you go
think so,
to the
too.
hair scrambles because it's like at any time, any single one of them can win.
And they're so
And they
fast.
do like they're fast and they're pushing each other. All of them are always back and forth, but then they're like super nice to each
And then
other,
they'll
super
pull off
friendly.
they'll pull off the track and they'll all hop on like 110s or CRFs and they'll pit bike around.
Yeah.
While like Bentley races and Thad and us, like if we race that day, they'll just be like randomly in the woods with like 15 girls, like, hey. So funny. They'll wave at you and yell at you.
Mm-hmm.
Or they'll come up crying.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're hurt. Sometimes they're having a good day or a bad day.
Yeah.
Them girls are cool.
Yeah,
It's
I
wild.
wish
Like
they
the
had some hard enduro.
Yeah, I know. I wish they'd ride hard.
Ladies, if you listen to this.
The camaraderie, like you said, where you build the when you're like helping people out through the woods like that. We had an instance like that in Arkansas where we met some guys, Wesley and Lesser, and they dude, they're B-class riders too, and we were kind of all back and forth with each other. It was this 5-hour race, I think, and we were all kind of back and forth with each other, and we kind of helped each other, and then we kind of the four of us kind of rode together for quite a while and just really helped each other out a lot. And we never met these people before in our life, and like we were kind of helping each other save our lives to get out of there because we were like stranded in the middle of the woods, dude. And like if you don't be friendly and make friends and talk to people, then you're just going to be out there alone, and it's a lot harder when you're alone. I mean, you should be able to do it alone because it's a race and it's a hard enduro. But sometimes the stuff they throw at you, man, it's wild.
You get tired at hair scrambles,
dude. Yeah. Yeah, but I can just ride hard enduro. I can beat you at hard enduro.
So sometimes.
Yeah,
you beat me
sometimes.
It does though. It builds a totally different resiliency that you don't get anywhere else. And it's just it's funny because you're talking about like you were with these other people. Like I said before, you're on your bike, and that's something that I look at all the time because as a female, I've went through a divorce and everything, and so I've been trying to rebuild my confidence after that, and being on my bike gives me that because I do have to do this by myself. It is me against the terrain, and I have to fight through because no one else is going to ride that bike through for me because I don't let people ride my bike.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to make it through whatever I'm going through.
Sometimes you have to make it out. Like
yeah,
you're so far away from civilization.
it's like a single person thing, right? And that's you get the confidence from being able to do whatever it is that you're, up against, whether it's a ledge or a rock or whatever it is. But then, you do have that camaraderie because the guy next to you is doing exactly the same thing, and he's
Yeah.
struggling just as much as you, or maybe more than you. And so you guys are doing it individually, but at the same time as like a whole group, and you're all doing the same thing just in a different way. And so I
Yeah.
think it really builds a camaraderie that you also don't get really in very many other places. So,
Yeah. It's so
and
fun.
that's like the struggle of like you said, like trying not to die out
Yeah,
there
like that's
together.
when we were first started racing, the kids weren't that good. And like they do a mud race, and then they'd come up and they'd be whining that it's too hard, or and I'm like, well, dude, think about it, or Anna, like if it's hard for you, like it's hard for everybody else.
Yeah.
This is a test of your endurance and what you're capable of pushing through and how far you're capable of going. And if you keep going and you're the stronger person, you're going to come out ahead. And like that's how it is with hard enduro. It's like it teaches you, like you're by yourself, you're out there, you keep pushing, and you're going to achieve something great. And it might not be fun at the time, but when you look back at it, like the ride home and you're bullshitting with your buddies or
the kids,
shit like
oh my
that.
God, they got some stories.
And then you look back and it's like, dude, that was so much fun, and like we made it through it, and you want to give up, and it transfers over to everything else in life. Like as long as you don't give up and you keep going and you keep trying and you just keep pushing, it's gonna make it. You're going to make it through, and it'll be all right. And then you'll look back at it and realize it was better than what you thought it was at the time. And
yeah, I know they got some wild. Them kids are cool. They got so much stuff going on at the time. Like they're super good kids. Dad and Bentley like golf all the time, and they're all Jaylee, and she does volleyball.
Oh yeah, they're not lazy.
All have
they
super
always
good grades.
Just
they all
push
have
through
a job.
shit. They definitely
they're super good kids. Jaylee's 15 and Bentley's 14. Charlie, she's like super chill. She won her e-bike class, her last race, and she's just like, whatever. She's like, I don't want to race again. That's probably like her only race she'll do all year. Chuck.
Byron?
Yeah, she loves Byron. She'll race that one, and then she's like, nah, I'm done for the year. But she rides.
That was London
But
too.
it's still,
she was like, London. She was like, did her one race, and she's like, I don't think racing's for me. But she loves going to the hard enduros. She loves Manny.
Like she loves Manny.
Yeah, she has crushed hard on Manny. She's I just heard her in the other room. Oh,
you got a picture with them.
So.
Oh really?
Yeah.
She was like,
that's cool.
Every year, actually. Yeah. She did the other year, too.
Yeah, they love it.
They care about nothing else except the pool at the Airbnb and getting a picture of Manny.
She likes watching all the girls, too. Just the carnage. You got to go and watch the carnage. That's the best part. Amateur day.
Amateur day's bomb.
Yeah.
Shout out to all the amateurs.
Yeah.
It's cool. Really fun because like even though you guys it is carnage, but at the same time I can't do that. So to me those guys are good still. Like you guys are really good because I can't do that. Like,
oh yeah.
Dude,
and it's all subjective.
We ride with people that don't race at all and they're good at hard enduro.
Yeah.
It's like holy cow. And we got a kid talked into doing a hard enduro that he's gonna do the Mad Moves. Andrew.
A lot of people
he just like showed up on his beta and he's like super good, and we're like, hey, dude, he's been riding with us only this year, and he's like,
well, he had like a DR, I think, and we were out at Hanson's riding, and he's seen us riding, and he's like, holy shit, he's like, that's cool, and he's like, I'm gonna get a bike this weekend, and next weekend he comes out and he's got a new beta, and he's dude, he's really been pushing and trying, and like he's like, all this stuff I thought was impossible. He's like, with practice and doing it, he's learning, and he's like, it's awesome, and it like the stuff you hit, a lot of it.
He's just got his eyes open to the whole thing.
Yeah, you
It's
just
like,
gotta hit
we
it,
gotta
and you
talk
gotta
him
not
into
be
doing the
afraid.
madness.
You just gotta rip into it, and then it's like it's not as bad as what you think, but it looks sweet.
Yeah.
Like
That's
a
so
lot
cool.
of the shit.
He sees cool shit.
Some of it's pretty
Watch your
wild.
language.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Keep saying the S word. We said we weren't gonna cuss.
I know I'm terrible. I cuss all the time,
You
so I
cuss is
think
like
I'm
a
doing
sailor.
pretty good. You're only gonna have to put like 10 bleeps in, probably.
That's a lot.
It's okay. The channel is considered explicit. So I
Oh,
think it was like episode 2. There was like 5 F-bombs dropped. So I
Yeah.
was like,
well, I'm doing
alrighty
good.
then.
Yeah, you just said the S word a few
Yeah.
times.
I
I've
don't
said
even
it a
think
couple
I said the
times, I
F
think.
word.
That's like good examples.
Yeah.
Man.
I think you guys are doing good on the whole example thing. You guys have really changed things around and really refocused your guys' energy, which is then, like I said, kind of giving the kids something to put their energy into, which I think is so awesome.
I
That
never
mindset
really, like,
that they're building is amazing.
I never really sat back and thought about how much like support we had, like
Yeah.
out of all of us. Because some people like just show up with
Oh,
one
at the
person.
races, yeah, and how much
and
Yeah.
they just like
the kids, our kids do have a lot of support.
Yeah.
Like
my dad. Like
he's
every
any
race.
any local race,
Or, yeah,
he's
local
there.
race.
He'll like
He ain't been
he's
to no
gas
Arkansas.
man. Yeah, he
He's
won't
been
drive.
to the
He won't
island.
drive that far, but he definitely supports all of
Yeah.
it and the kids, and
Yeah.
for sure.
Grandparents showing up.
Yeah, they
It's
love
cool.
it. Everybody's there supporting the kids and stuff.
Aunts, uncles, everybody.
Yeah.
If it's local, they're not traveling no 13 hours. I think.
If you tell them about Hawaii, they might go.
Yeah, probably they'll go out there.
Ken's not.
Everybody's all of a sudden gonna be like, all right.
Yeah,
Ken is
I
not.
love hard enduro.
He ain't going to Hawaii.
No, Ken's
He
not.
won't even go to the UP this year. That's
No.
only 7 hours for us.
That's a
That's a
couple,
close one.
2 weeks away.
Yeah.
I think the Mad Moose.
Yep.
I'm excited.
I'm excited. Anna said
I
she
did
was
that
going to
race.
do it, but I think she's chickening
Jaylee's
out.
not gonna do it.
She said she was, and she's like, I'll practice and I'll do it. And then she's like, I'll definitely do it if you buy me some new Alpine boots, Alpine Star boots. And I'm like, we'll see about that. But she hasn't been really practicing like I thought. So I don't know. I doubt she'll do it.
Jaylee
but-
could do it on Bentley's
Yeah,
112.
they should. They should just ride it together and go out there and have fun. And
She races
Yeah.
on a KTM 125, which
Yeah.
is
Oh, wow.
big, but it's big on her because she's short.
she is
She's a
short.
shorty.
She's really
I
short.
think 5'2" maybe.
I know that life.
Yeah.
Oh, she's taller than me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like 5 foot, aren't you?
Yep.
Yeah, because I
Yep.
think I just heard that. I was listening to one of your podcasts earlier. I can't
We
even
actually
remember
that
who
was
it
crazy. We listened to Hayden Moses
Oh yeah, on the way to
Yeah.
on
Arkansas,
the way,
or the way to
Ohio.
lightning strikes.
It was like super
Yeah.
late at night, wasn't it? We're like, let's listen.
Yeah, we
So
were
everyone's
we were
sleeping.
just
Or the
listening
boys
to
were
it on the way
sleeping.
there, and then the next morning you come up and talk to
I'm like,
us.
look, it's the lady from the
Yeah,
podcast.
it's like, oh, that's crazy.
It's a new experience for me. That's like the third time that's happened. 'Cause that happened to me at TKO where somebody actually walked up to me and like I came over to talk to you guys because I've seen you guys before, but somebody at TKO came up to me and they're like, "Hey, you do that podcast, right?" And I was like,
Cool.
"Yeah." It was really cool.
Dude, that is sweet.
Sometimes people say that about my YouTube.
Oh,
They'll be
yeah.
like, I
Yeah.
watch YouTube, but I only have like 400 subscribers. Like, it's not. You don't think it's big, but that's a lot of people. If you put like 400
yeah.
people in a room, that's what I
I
tell
have 12 subscribers on YouTube, so
Well,
See,
400
most people don't
600.
watch the YouTube.
Dude, that's
so,
12
yeah.
more than I got.
But I know what you mean. Like, people have said that to me, and I don't know how to react. I'm like, oh,
Yeah, it's a
I
very
don't know.
different experience.
I like making
it's
those
like-
videos for the kids, like
So you
so they
look
can
Yeah.
look back
back.
because they've changed
Yeah.
so much. Like I've been doing it for like 3 years, I think, but they were
Yeah.
like little. It's so funny how big they are now.
Yeah.
I can't get Jaylee to wear the GoPro, and I have to like pull
It's
Bentley's teeth.
intimidating. Oh my
Yeah.
God, it is so intimidating to have a GoPro put on you. Like my ex-husband tried to do that to me when I first started riding. And I was like, first of all, no, because then I have to try and keep up, and that's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
All of the
Right.
guys that I was riding with at the time had been riding for like 10 years plus, and I was
Oh,
like brand new. So I was like, this is not gonna work. But then I was like, everyone's going to be able to see what I'm doing. Like every little thing that I do wrong, they're going to see it. And so it just got me super in my head. The second you take the GoPro off, I put me on the same track and I was fine. So it's like a totally mental thing that like I've had other friends talk to me about it too. They're like, please don't bring your GoPro, because like now I've gotten out of that and I'm like, I try and push myself to do new things or things that scare me, or just push myself out of my comfort zone like consistently. And
That's
so
what
one of those things was wearing the GoPro. And my friends are like, stop. I don't want video of me falling. And I'm like, it's just, it's
I
part
did
of the
that to Bentley at
experience.
Tough Like Roar. I put the GoPro. I got him a chin mount because he said he didn't like the chest one. I put it on the chin, and he did pretty good. But I beat him at Tough Like Roar. So in me beating him, I know I was off, and I think it was because of the GoPro. Because he said it made him feel weird. I shouldn't.
He's just nervous.
Yeah.
I used to make.
He used to throw up before every race.
He did. He used to be so nervous about
he was
it.
fast.
Like every race, he'd just go puke, and then he'd be fine. Like at the line, he'd have to hold his bike for a second. He'd go puke, and
he'd be puking like while the other kids are going. Like on his 60
no.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
But
I blame that on the GoPro. Anyway, back to the GoPro.
The nerves.
I blame the GoPro for him being nervous.
I used to love making GoPro videos. Like when we
he ain't
first
nervous
started.
No more. Neither is Thad. Thad and Bentley go hard.
Oh yeah.
Them boys are nuts.
And they like to they don't like to wear the GoPro, but they like to have you take videos of them so they can put it on their TikToks.
Yeah.
Make
they don't even make those. They just send them to their friends, and they're like, "That's cool." And then they like taking videos of us failing.
Yeah.
Like getting hurt and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. It's pretty easy to talk
I have a lot of those videos. Those are my expertise.
We send our bikes. Like
I took a pretty good tumble yesterday. I was out riding the trials bike out front, and like we just got a new clutch in it, so I'm like trying to get the basics of it, and it turns so sharp compared to like my big bike. So like it kind of got in a rut, and then the wheel turned, and like the way I was facing, the wheel started going back down the hill. Well, I ended up jabbing the bar into my gut, and there's like a bruise, and I cut my knee and flipped over and tumbled down, and it's like,
you're hardcore,
dude. I am too old for this.
You're hardcore.
Like
trials bikes are supposed to be safer.
Oh yeah, if you know what you're doing.
I don't think that trials bike's set up proper.
I don't know.
We just were riding it around. I think the forks are a little soft.
I have no idea. I don't know what they're supposed to feel like. I've never really.
Yeah, if you know anything about trials bikes, shoot us a message. I bet Tobin does.
Yeah.
Tobin and
Tucker. I don't know. I think it's fun. I'm excited to get out there and play around with it.
Ben Miller probably rode it. You don't want to ride Tobin and Tucker's stuff.
Yeah.
So their dad's fun.
Yeah, trials bikes are really fun. I got to ride one when I was in New Hampshire or Rhode Island, and I spent the whole day on one, and it was a very different experience. You would think that a bike is a bike, but it's not.
Trials are crazy.
Dude, it's way different than just like
we just found it on Marketplace. Someone had it for like $2,000, and I was like, "Dude, you want to each throw $1,000 at the trials bike?" So we have one. So we just have like.
It makes a difference with your riding, though. Your balance will improve. Your clutch control, everything. I mean, it's awesome.
I could see where it'd be massively beneficial to ride just. And it's forcing you to stand up. That's like one of my biggest things is like I try to conserve energy when I'm going through the woods, and then I sit down but it's like that's worse, and you gotta just force yourself to stand up.
Tracy tells me to sit down or stand up all the time. Like,
Yeah.
she
Casey.
catches me. I'll be in the woods sitting.
But it
Yeah.
depends on who you're asking, though, because right before Silver Kings, Sandra Gomez did a women's clinic, and she told the women, save your energy for the hard stuff and sit on those between
Yeah.
sections. She's like, don't stand, don't waste your time, don't waste your energy.
Yeah.
And
Well, then
I've heard
that's-
other people say that too. But
Yeah.
I think it just kind of depends on, how hard everything is. And it's always, there's always context to everything. But
Yeah, and everybody rides just a little bit different, and kind of one person teaches you one thing and the other person teaches you the other thing.
yeah.
Bad
We
here.
got Thad in the house.
Say what's up.
So
It's a podcast, but it's got a video.
That's
so
Angel.
they'll mainly hear you.
What place you get at Ohio, Thad? How'd your race go
we
at
got
Ohio?
third. It was pretty good. It was really, really it tired me out. That's for sure. It was.
What did you think
tired.
about sleeping in the truck?
It sucked. I will after that one.
Did you have a cold drink? Did you have any cold sandwiches?
No.
Your dad was the only one who ate the hot sandwiches, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Hot turkey.
What
sandwich.
was your favorite race that you did this year?
This year, probably the Iowan.
Really?
That was
Yeah.
a really fun race.
That was
I
a
love
sick
the
race.
Iowan. That was amazing.
What's your
He had to do C class there
Yeah.
for the Iowan, and he ended up making it into
the
main
event.
race.
Yeah.
And he ended
Yeah.
up winning C class. And
wow?
it was like, I helped set up the course. So like I was out there all week setting up the course, and like we were putting stuff in there. And I was like, because I know Hanson's like really well. I'm like, we got to throw everything at these, because I do not want these kids to make it to the end of this race. Like, I'm like, my goal was to stop my kid from making it to the end of this race. And like, we threw all this shit at it and all these big hills. And and then
the big hills were huge.
Yeah.
You guys put in some nasty hills there.
And some big logs.
They were like bluffs. They were just bluffs, ruts, and
Yeah.
bluffs. It was crazy.
And then I was just out sweeping the race, and the one guy's like, dude, your boys made it back over by the mud pit. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, how did he make it this far?
And that was in the main event.
Yeah.
That was the hard lap. That was the one.
Yeah,
that had
and
all the hard
and
sections.
like a third the way into the race, he bent his brake lever up, and so it was like on top of his foot peg, so he didn't have any brakes. So he was riding the hills.
Tobin stopped and fixed it.
No, I did have back brakes, but when I stepped on my peg, it would engage the back.
Didn't
Okay.
Tobin fix it for you?
Yeah.
Oh.
He tried. It didn't
He
work.
like stopped, got off his bike, grabbed a big rock, and started bashing it down.
trying to help bend it around.
And then
It
he's like,
didn't
I
work
can't
out.
get
Wow.
it. And then he just popped up the crazy hill.
Yeah.
Just like a little rabbit that he is.
That
Tobin's sweet.
guy flies. Yeah, he flies.
Dude,
through.
he is wild, and he's awesome. Like,
He's so
dude,
cool.
a lot of some like pros like Tobin, he'll like teach the kids and take the time and like tell them what to do. Like at the Iowan, Thad was kind of blocking his path at the one spot, and my wife was standing there, and it was a big hill, and there was only the one line, and Thad was kind of blocking it, and Tobin got off his bike and run up the hill and like told Thad how to get out of the situation and talked him through it, instead of grabbing his bike like I've seen other pros do and either yeeting it out of the way or riding it up out of the section to get so they could go faster. He actually like talked him through how to do it and kind of like helped him. And it's like, dude, that's awesome. Like the level that people are always helping each other out and stuff. We've talked about that earlier, and it's just so cool that like all the people that help just help each other.
Yeah.
Just help push. Except for the C class guys. The U should have started in front of the C class guys.
No, then they should move up. I think if they want to start up, they should move up class.
Some of the
like at Bentley,
It's
I don't know. He complains about C class sometimes, but I'm like, dude, if you're that fast, go go to B.
Yeah,
It's tough to start behind.
But
Yeah,
it's
some
just
of
helping them.
the
Bentley's
some-
only 14 though. I
yeah,
don't know
but Thad and Bentley
Yeah.
will help some of the C-class guys get through stuff with the agreement that they're going to help them get through
Yeah.
it, and then they bail on
yeah,
them
they
because
bail
they're
on
kids.
the kids all the time. That's funny.
Aw.
Bentley will come off, be like, "I helped that guy," and then he just left me. It's so
Oh
funny.
my god.
They do it all the time.
Good, and
Especially
they
at Arkansas.
they
That
can
was bad.
they can. Oh, dude, when we were at Arkansas, like
That's a good idea.
we were, like I said, the race was 5 hours, and here we are, like we only made it 6 miles, or the race was 7 miles long. We made it 6 miles, so we had a mile to go, like 5.5 hours in, 5 hours in, and Jojo Toole comes up and tells us that
We're done.
the race is timed out, and he said the fastest way back is just to finish the course. And I'm like, oh my god, there's no way that I can make it any farther. Like, I'm close. And so he's like, well, just keep going, you'll make it. And so we kept plucking ahead, and like we stopped at this spot, and it's like
me
the
and Derek were
last
together.
huge. Yeah,
We're at this
we
point.
rode together because we were like done. We're like, we need to help each other get out of here, otherwise we're not going to make it out.
But we stopped at this.
And we stopped at this spot, and we were talking like, dude, what do you think happened to the boys?
Yeah,
Because like we were racing, kind of like they're on their own, they'll be all right, they know what to do. And we were like at this spot, and we're like, dude, what do you think happened
I
to
think
them
they were
kids?
like 13 and 14.
Yeah.
So like they're like little kids.
They
out
made
there and doing hard enduro.
Yeah,
Jojo
they
too.
made it like 2.5 miles. But like as we're talking there, like the one spot that the course comes together, we hear a bike coming down the hill. And I look up, and it's Bentley, and I'm like, holy cow, dude, like it's Bentley.
Yeah.
Like, and we start yelling for him, and he shuts his bike off, and he's like across the creek, and we're yelling, and he sees us, and he starts waving. And then all of a sudden, like behind this huge big rock, you hear Thad start yelling. He's like, Dad?
He was
Dad?
sitting there the whole
Dude,
time.
yeah, and he was sitting there behind the big rock the whole time me and BJ were talking. He
We
didn't even
know
hear
where
us
our kids
pull
were,
up.
and they were right there.
Yeah,
It
and
was
it's like
crazy.
the one spot the course come together,
The
and we're
nature
like, all
Force
right.
brought us
So we
together.
got the boys, they're safe, and we had Logan, my oldest boy. He rode down with us, but he didn't race, and he was out in the woods, or he was up at the car waiting for us, and it took like 7 hours total for us to get back from when the race started.
And then we drove all the way home.
Yeah, 10 hours
10
home
hours
after
home.
race.
After race.
Yeah, you guys all slept.
I fell asleep.
I drove. Dude, you guys were done.
I fell asleep with like an hour left. I did that
Yeah.
on the way home from Ohio too, and you took that stupid picture of me. With my mom.
On logs.
And they put it all over Facebook.
I
Yeah.
posted that today.
Yeah, no,
Dude, oh, it's BJ's
It's my
birthday
birthday,
today
yeah.
too.
So
Oh,
he
happy
put-
birthday.
Dad put happy birthday, Uncle BJ, and it's me with my mouth open, like sawing logs in the truck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
The
was
Arkansas
pretty.
race was amazing. I wish they didn't cancel that.
Yeah, dude, that was
That was a
like
great race.
that was one
Something
race I was
happened.
looking forward to. Hopefully, they can get it straightened
Yeah.
out next year, because that was like
Yeah.
that was by far my favorite race I ever did. I know that like there
I
was
think
one
it was
point
because
that
where
we
we found the kids and we just all came together.
yeah, and
Like,
that
was
well, there was
nuts.
one point we were trying to make it up this hill, and like you fell like 2 or 3 times, and I looked down the hill, and like I could see just the sheer exhaustion. Like I could
was
see in
dead.
BJ's eyes, like he didn't think he was gonna make it out of there.
Sometimes I get like that. I get
And I'm like,
tired.
oh no, dude, we gotta go. we gotta
gotta
keep
get
racing
outta here.
here. And then yeah, it was just like straight survival mode.
So I have a question for you guys. Do you guys carry snacks with you when you guys go to your races?
I do the goo gel, the
Yeah.
Matt Adams specialty goo holder.
Mhm.
Yeah. can't think of what it's called. But I don't
Isn't it
know.
called, like,
That's all I
T-ball?
do for a snack, though. You don't do nothing, dude. You take
Oh,
cookies and
I'll
stuff.
take some.
He's like a
I'll take
caveman.
some cookies and like,
Slim Jim.
dude, yeah, whatever I
He'll
can,
wake up in the
whatever I
morning.
can find.
Before TKO, we stopped at Dunkin'. We got like this extreme monstrosity of a coffee. And
Oh,
like,
dude, it was
like
terrible.
s'mores.
Yeah, that was
And it,
not
like,
good.
I drank like some of mine.
Oh.
I couldn't even finish it. He's like, "Here, I'll have it."
And I left it on the hood of on the box
Yeah.
of my truck, and we drove like 2 miles.
You can't do that before a race.
Oh,
Jesus.
dude, I beat you.
Well, that's because I had
Like I
bike
beat
problems.
you that day. Oh, bike problems. That's
Yeah,
his
that's
excuse
something.
every time.
I usually take like an energy pack with like nuts and raisins and M&Ms in it.
Yep.
That's
Yeah,
always good.
Yeah.
that's
These guys eat good.
Yeah,
Like,
they're
we
a
set
lot
them up.
healthier.
Yeah.
That's good,
eat
though,
right,
'cause, like-
go to the gym, like
Yeah.
I mean, exercise that goes for runs.
So it'll be winter here pretty soon, and these guys
Yeah.
at the gym like all winter.
Yeah,
Like that's their hangout. We live in a super small town. Like,
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
nothing to do
there's
really.
80 people or something. Like there's school
Wow.
classes have like 20 kids or
Yeah.
something like that per class.
Well, and
then
that's
I-
in Preston, which is like 2,000 people
Yeah.
maybe.
so they go to the
1,500,
gym
I
and
don't
it's
know.
like their hangout in
Yeah.
the winter time.
Yeah.
And
Well, that's
That's,
a
like,
good
all
thing
they
to
do.
do.
Try to get in shape.
they'll
Hopefully.
ride when it's like 0
We go
degrees
to-
out.
we go to
They'll ride what
mega
they can
tracks.
for like 10 minutes and then they come in and it's like all they can do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we go to mega
So I
tracks
was-
and wide.
Yeah, the indoor motocross.
I was talking to some people from North Dakota, and they were talking to me about how they ride all winter. And I was like, it's North Dakota. There's like 80,000 feet of snow and ice. As long as there's less than, I think they said like a foot of snow, that they can just stud their tires and then they just go and they ride. Same trails that they ride during the
Really?
summertime.
Dude,
But
that's
that they
so-
have like ridiculous amounts of traction, and they go out and they ride like the rivers and the lakes and stuff, and they just stud their tires and that's it.
Studded tire.
I've always wanted to try that. That sounds so
That'd be
fun.
cool. We didn't even know about
They
gummies like a year ago.
Yeah.
Like gummy tires. We were out there hitting those hard enduros with like
regular hard
hair
tires.
scramble tires.
and-
And then me and Derek bought ourselves some IRCs or something.
Well, that was at that first.
I know, it was like a
TKO.
Kenda.
that was
They
a
gave us
couple
a
years
Ken-
ago.
no, that
Dude,
was a
time
TKO.
goes
They
quick.
gave
Yeah,
us
but that was like,
Kenda tires and they were gummies and we tried them.
oh yeah,
And then we're like, what the heck?
yeah,
You can actually go
game
up stuff on it.
changers.
Yeah.
Made hard enduro a lot more fun. I know that.
Oh yeah, big time.
Putting that
Yeah.
tire-
Bike setup, and then like, well, first of all, getting a new bike for me, but then the bike setup was huge for me, like getting my suspension done and everything. It really helped improve my riding. And then my biggest thing for me was probably fitness and nutrition. Nutrition really, like fueling your body properly, it makes a huge difference on what you can do for endurance. And outside of riding, I'm also a runner, and like I'm doing an ultra marathon in a couple weeks, and it made a huge difference on what I was able to do with my running, and then that transferred over to my riding as well. So you don't think that like eating pizza or whatever like makes that big of a difference, but then you change what you eat and you're like, oh my god, I feel so much better. Like, you know, you guys stopped drinking already, and just like I didn't even do it like all at one time. I started like little bits,
Yeah.
but every little bit that you improve, you'll see a huge improvement in your riding. And that's even at my level. So I can't imagine what it would do at your guys' levels.
Yeah, like I started. I had I tore my ACL and stuff in like 2021. I had like full
Yeah.
knee replacement from a pit bike race. We go hard sometimes. We do like crazy pit bike races. But
Yeah.
oh, I blew my whole knee out, MCL, ACL,
it takes-
meniscus, and yeah, I had to start riding a mountain bike a lot after the recovery, and I just never
Yeah.
stopped. I really enjoyed mountain biking,
Yeah,
so
it
Yeah.
helped. a
that
lot.
goes with like nutrition and fitness. Like
Yeah.
that helps. That translates a lot to hard enduro. I think that endurance of just riding, because if I don't ride, my knee hurts a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we
Well,
do
it's
like
early on.
we both have big gardens. Like we eat like I love
Yeah.
pizza, dude, and I love to not eat healthy, but like I don't really like the past few years. I really cut back on a lot of it,
Huge
but I
garbage.
do like to. I like it, but
Yeah.
I mean,
we have a big
everyone's
garden,
gonna.
like
We have chickens.
chickens, and
Yeah.
we a good chunk of our food we do grow ourselves, and kind of so
Yeah.
like
They make
it is pretty healthy, but not. I'd say out of my whole like family, I splurge the most out of everybody. Yeah.
them women's, they make homemade pasta sauces, and like we can our own
Oh,
pickles and
yeah, like
salsas.
all
That's
kinds of
awesome. So
stuff.
you guys already eat pretty well then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we try pushing it on the kids. Like the worst thing those kids eat, I think, is that pizza from that place they
Yeah.
work at, because they bring it home every day. Other
Yeah,
than
like-
that,
Yeah.
they eat, like, super healthy.
We
eat eggs,
kind of
That's
quit
good, though.
buying. We quit buying like all the processed garbage and a
Yeah.
lot of the junk food and stuff. But like, yeah,
noodles and fruit and potatoes. That's pretty much all. I get
when we
from the
go to
store.
races, we try to pack our own stuff versus stopping
Yeah.
at fast foods, because it's definitely better food choices there. But
Mhm.
Earlier this year, I think Bentley didn't even know what Hardee's was. That's like
That's so funny. I live right next to, like, my housing situation's weird. I literally live in the basement of a house, but because of the way that it sits, I'm actually in the parking lot of a car dealership.
Oh, wow.
And right next to us is Hardee's.
Oh,
cool.
dang.
I smell that every single day. I
Oh,
wake
yeah.
up, they're cooking Hardee's in the morning, and I'm like, oh, it smells real
But
good. It's real
that's
hard to
like-
stick to healthy food when that's what
Yeah,
you
it
smell
is
every
hard.
morning.
Yeah, it's nice having that healthy stuff around.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I worked at McDonald's when I was a kid, and we lived in town, and I lived off fast food when I was younger and stuff, and then we moved to Preston, and there's like the closest fast food restaurant's like 30 minutes away, I think.
Yeah,
Probably. Well,
20,
I
probably
think
20.
Maquoketa's
25.
probably got McDonald's. That's
Yeah.
probably the closest, like 25 minutes, 20 minutes or whatever. But it's like,
Yeah.
It's not available to those kids either.
yeah,
So
so,
they're just
like,
Yeah.
eating good,
they
whatever
don't
we
need
have.
Good
Like
stuff.
that's what they're eating.
yeah,
Yeah.
Besides the pizza.
yeah.
Back to the pizza.
No, I think that's awesome. Like I said, you guys are really dialing it all in for them. You guys are setting them up for success in so many ways. You guys have everything. It's like you guys figured it all out without ever having to figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
We just I think it goes back to like us having to work together. Like it helps
Yeah.
we feed off each other. Or like, hey, like he bought a tire machine and I bought a thing to expand pipes because we smashed so many pipes.
yeah. So
Yeah.
So
just
it works together.
kind of he does one part, I do one part. We kind of help each other with bike work if needed, and I mean we have there's the members of the community. Like I said, there's like the whole John Holgraver. He helps us a lot with the bikes, and
we just show up to
Keaton
races.
Sturck, the 38 Motors. They help us do it so much with like when we started riding, like I didn't know how to work on bikes. Like
we learned all that ourselves.
I didn't know how to do any of it. Like I'm a dumb carpenter. Like I just never worked on anything.
And now you just whip out top
and
ends
now I'm like, I
it's like-
TKO. I changed Graham Jarvis's tire. Like
yeah, that was crazy.
I was like just walking by, and there was some people there. They were kind of struggling a little bit to do it, and my daughter's like, Derek, you got one of them same tire changing setups. And I'm like, yeah, and I know what I'm doing with it. And they had their spoons backwards and stuff. And I watched them struggle for a minute. And I'm like, hey, guys, if you do this and this, make it easier. And then the guy's like, well, have you done this before? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, hop on in here and do it. And so
I took a video
there quick. And
it gets all over.
It was like, so I went from like, not knowing how to work on really anything to like the guy that I've been looking up to the past few years, like helping him race and do that.
That was really cool.
it's just neat, like the different experiences and the different stuff you get to do when you go to the races, and it's awesome.
Feeding off each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that's one of the
really
coolest
cool.
things about the hard enduro too, is like you're just out there, and like the pros are out there, and you can be talking to them, and they're in helmets. Like, I don't know, I'm terrible with faces and what people look like and that kind of stuff. And I remember at the second Iowan or the third Iowan, I don't remember which one, where they had the big creek jump. And
you built.
I made the.
Have you ever seen videos of that? It was on the US.
There's like a wooden jump that I built at my house, and like I kind of like went out and looked at the creek jump and eyeballed it, and I'm like, oh, I think I can make a ramp out of plywood for this, and I made it, and I was like there. I backed my truck down in there and was setting it up, and like all these dudes come over and they were like talking to me, and it was like, the year the US hard enduro was there, and like I didn't know who any of these guys were, and they were talking to me, and like
they were kicking it.
Yeah, it was like talking shit to me about if I built it strong enough. I'm like, dude, I know what I'm doing. You guys are safe. And it was like Dave Knight and Tristan Hart.
Yeah,
dude, a whole bunch of different guys. And
but
it was like after he left and he told me who they were, I'm like, holy cow, like, dude, that's like incredible. Like I didn't know who a lot of them were for very long. But like when you watch YouTube videos, when we first started getting into it and started watching it, I'm like hearing all these names and knowing who they were. And like I said, I didn't know who they were with their helmets off, but I knew who they were when they ride. And it's like super cool to watch them and to meet them. And like it happened like at TKO, I was walking through the woods and met Cody Webb and Carson Brown this year at TKO.
The kids were yelling at Carson.
Just like all these different people you see, and it's like you don't get to see that everywhere. You don't get to pit next to the fast guys. You don't get to do that kind of stuff. It's pretty cool when you
TK.
It's just
meeting all the pros in general, not just
look, just all the guys that you look up to, and
even our local fast guys are cool.
Oh yeah,
they're awesome.
Yeah,
the kids look up to
that just goes back to the community. The community in hard enduro is just it's so great. It's so cool. I mean, I've met a lot of pros in other disciplines, and they're not as open and welcoming. Which there's nothing to say that they have to be.
Right.
You know, I mean, I understand they're high performing athletes. I get it, but
they're just out there.
Well, and they're
loving their dirt bike like we are.
And they're out
even like Max Gersten, right? Like he's the media guy, but he's a pro rider, and you know, he's this big personality. And when I met him at Battle of the Goats, I literally told him that. I was like, thank you for being so cool and just like a normal person. And he's like, what else would I be? And I was like, you could be like, I don't know. I was like, sometimes, you know, there's a reason they say don't meet your heroes. But for everybody in hard enduro, I've met a lot of my heroes from that, and all of them are really cool. And so I think it's super awesome.
Kids. Like the kids like can bug them, and they like they Snapchat Spencer Wilton. Like these guys, like that and that. They haven't and he like responds back to him. Like, what up? It's so funny. They're so
like
nice.
Makana, you listened to Makana's episode. He got to ride with Will when he was at Brushy after everything. Yeah. So that's and like cool. Will was just like, yeah, it's totally cool. He's like, I just don't want to ride alone. Like, what?
That's what Tobin actually said that to us too. He's like, he's got to go out riding so much, and you know, to stay at the level that them guys are at, they got to ride all the time. And the one time when he come riding, he said it was fun to actually be able to go out riding with people and be like that, because he said he don't get to do it a lot of times. And
like, you don't like that. You'd rather ride with people.
Yeah. Well, and you see different lines and you push each other and the energy builds when you're out there free riding, like, and you're really like riding some hard shit with the guys.
They get pushed. Like, I
Yeah.
wouldn't think they would hit something, and then they ride with like Tobin and them, and they're hitting crazy stuff that I'd never even think of hitting. Like I thought that was a
Yeah.
wall. No, that's not a wall. That's a jump. For
Yeah,
them guys.
they just hit the stump that's 5 foot down the hill and blasts up
yeah,
it.
that's
And
what they
it's
were
like
doing last week. And
no
like,
big deal.
splattering a thing with like the rock was like 8 foot tall, and this stump was like 6-7 feet away, and they were hitting it like a ramp up a super steep hill and splattering the rock. And I was like, what? I didn't try it.
It was
I'm not
super
doing that.
impressive. I was like, holy cow, dude, that is
Yeah,
insane. I am definitely not trying that one, but you guys have at it.
yeah.
So
I'm good on that. But I like watching them.
I
That's
do
fun.
like watching it.
Yeah.
It's pretty incredible, and just to keep pushing them kids and
Yeah.
hopefully get them to that next level where they got to be. And that was a lot with having to do the. We did a enduro cross course at our house, and that's
the Waterloo Enduro Cross.
that was a good one too. But
They
that
have some Enduro Cross.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
that enduro cross course in our backyard is like the stuff they struggle on at the races.
Oh, yeah,
I
you just
see
build
it,
them.
and then I just build it. Like my old man has a mini backhoe, and whenever it's not at jobs and he's not using it, we can bring it over. And we got local farmers that give us big trees and tires and obstacles and like anything to help push
around
them
here, like,
and
supports it
grow.
too, so
Help
that
like
helps.
really channel their energy into I don't want to keep the same course and let them get bored of it either. I'll take and move stuff around and make it just really so they're always being pushed and never really know what to expect. It's not easy.
Always facing the things that you struggle with, I think, is really important. It's something that I learned to do it at work. Because like I didn't do sports growing up, but at work I always focused on the things that I was struggling with, and that was the thing that I would make myself do to get better at it. Because then, when you're scared of something, you stay away from it a lot of the times, but I just did it. And so I've translated that into my riding now, and there's a lot of shit that scares me because I don't have a lot of seat time, but I really push myself to do those things, and it makes a big difference in everything in your life. Like you find yourself approaching everything completely different.
Getting pushed.
You do. You do approach
getting pushed.
You approach everything with like the idea that you can do it if you can.
Yeah.
Like I mean, if you put your mind to it, you're capable of doing it. And I feel I've become way better at that since I started riding and riding hard enduro. Like
just I know on a dirt bike is like
I know what I'm capable of, and I'm capable of whatever I put my mind to. I mean, like 5 years ago, whatever, I didn't even ride dirt bikes, and now now we make like the kind of the main feature in the Iowan that was like super incredibly hard. Like we go out to Hanson's, and that's our warm-up hill. We're hitting that waterfall like 3 times before we
could get up.
Yeah, the ones we thought nobody could get up, we're hitting them like 3-4 times to warm up riding, and then we're going and hitting everything else that's even harder. And it's like you're capable of everything that you put your mind to, and it's really helped bring that.
Putting that on them boys is like the best thing we can do. And
and the girls too.
The girls,
I think it's huge for the girls, because I think that's one of the biggest things that's holding a lot of women back is just a lack of confidence.
Yeah, they love it. They know the feeling of dirt bikes. They have the stoke like we do. They're just busy.
Yeah, I agree with you with the girls. They're like they do lack confidence in it. Like our girls, they went out to the Waterloo, the extreme enduro that he was just saying about, and like they didn't even have a women's class the first year, and we brought our girls in Avery Steen, and
there was enough girls to make.
I think there was Jaden Minart, and I think there was a couple other ones besides our girls that went out and they made a class for them, and they were out there riding the extreme enduro, like an enduro cross course with really hard stuff. And they were doing it just simply because they didn't have a lot of time, because it's middle of winter. and they
Yeah.
wanted to be on their dirt bikes, and it was a chance to go out and be on their dirt bikes. But like to go out to Hanson's, they're not going to try to hit a lot of that stuff because they're not as confident with it. But like you throw that into a race, like they're not even going to think about it. They're just going to go right for it, and they don't stop. But they need to build that confidence outside of like the racing and go out and practice.
I can't believe they got
I wish
that
they'd
fast.
practice.
I didn't think they'd ever get that fast. But
No.
No,
it's like, yeah, it's nerve wracking watching them. Like when you got the kids out there and
riding,
dude, like
Holy
Logan,
cow.
our oldest, like he just sends jumps.
Yeah.
Like he's a motocross guy, and it is I can't even go riding with him because it just terrifies me. Like out at Sturks,
well, you don't want to take the beta to the jumps.
No, I don't. I don't jump. I keep my wheels on the ground for the most part. But they got this like 80-foot step up, and the one time he went out there and he cleared it past to the landing on the flat, like 100-some feet, and landed to the flat. And I'm like, I'm done. I'm like, I cannot watch this kind of stuff because it's like your kid, and it's like super nerve wracking. And then like when you send the kids off at the start to the hard enduros or even the hair scrambles, and you don't know where they're gonna be, and
that's a good point to bring up. Is like them racing and they get hurt.
Yeah,
that sucks.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
Yeah.
We were at a race, a WFO hair scramble, and the girls signed up for C class because they just were gonna race C class that day. That was Anna that got hit by a dirt
Chandlerville.
bike. Like they didn't even start yet. Some guy like started his bike and he was in C class and he just yeeted it. And
he accidentally
hit his daughter.
He accidentally hit it into gear. Like they talked and whatever, and then they said start your bikes up and warm them up. And when he just like it hit me in the back, and luckily I was standing there. The front tire hit me in the back. Yeah. And the back tire just swung around and took on out and just flung her off. And like, that was like this whole year, she was like been super scared of. I think that's kind of why she cut back on racing a lot, because she hasn't really wanted to go, because like ever since then, I think it kind of was like a thing. But like, yeah, and then she goes out and rides, and she has a lot of fun, and she's like, oh my god, I need to do this more, and it's so fun. But like,
Bentley got knocked out at a motocross race, and
that's
when we pulled the pin on that. We're like, we're not doing motocross, we're gonna keep these wheels on the ground.
Yeah.
That was super scary.
Motocross kind of scares me.
Oh dude, and then the one time at Byron when Thad and Bentley, they were they're riding the motocross track, and Thad went to try to pass Bentley or the other way around, and they were hitting these big uphill doubles, and somehow they collided in the air. Well, Thad's arm got stuck inside the swing arm of the bike and got pinched in there, and they thought they were gonna have to cut the bike apart. And like they threw the cautions, and we were at the other side of the track, and we're like, dude, what's going on? And they weren't coming. We're like, what's going on? And this was like they were just pretty fresh into riding and racing too.
It was a nasty ride.
And then we get over there, and they're like talking about having to cut the swing arm apart, and I'm like, what the heck? Thad's there crying, his arm's stuck in there, and
Bentley got hit with Thad's bike in the back.
Oh, yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, Bentley landed on top of, or Thad landed on Bentley because he had a tire mark going down his back.
I can't walk. I'm like, what?
And
it's not funny to laugh at, but now it is.
It is now because they're okay. But like,
they stretched them to the ambulance.
Yeah, and then
they were fine.
And then when we were there, they're like, can we? Both in tears. They're like, can we still race tomorrow?
They didn't go to the hospital. They only took them to the ambulance, and like they were fine. They were worried about if they could race.
Yeah, and they ended up getting Thad's arm out without having to cut the bike apart too. So that was pretty good.
But they were still.
But it was like super, super scary when that kind of stuff happens, and then you send them out to the woods too. And
sending them out in Ardendale was pretty scary.
Yeah, or even the hair scrambles, because some of them, when you go to a new location, you don't know where they're at, and I kind of just when the race starts, start walking the course backwards, because then you kind of see when they're coming, and
But
you're
a lot of the
safe.
times,
And
like we race right after them, so we have to get ready. And
yeah, and
I don't even see them come off till we're on the line ready to go.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Yeah.
That makes it a rough race.
or when they're
sometimes.
behind, like 5 minutes behind,
But
and
then
like
you see them while you're
and
like,
it's like, oh
then
no,
you start racing, and then you see them like on the sideline, and they wave at you, and like
it's
they
a
had
big
a good
relief.
race. Otherwise, they'll like throw a thumbs down or something, like they wrecked or broke the
Yeah.
bike. It's pretty funny.
Oh,
It
It's
is
fun.
interesting.
We have a blast. We have a good time.
Definitely.
that's really cool. I love it. I absolutely love it. Like I said, the whole family dynamic that you guys have. And then you were talking about the community helping you guys, giving you guys stuff. I think that is so cool because like right now in a lot of the rural states, they're having issues with like a lot of trails are in danger of being shut down because people see dirt bikes as a nuisance. And
Yeah.
like people are cool with side by sides, but nobody wants the dirt bikes to come out because dirt bikes ruin the trails or whatever. And which we all know is not the case because the side by side is going to do a heck of a lot more when people are being crazy and whatever. But you guys are setting a great example, not just as you guys, but the kids as well, for what that energy again can look like. You know, putting
Yeah.
energy into something good. Dirt bikes can be a
Positive.
good thing. That can be
Yeah.
something that's is very positive. You guys have that whole community supporting you, and I think
Yeah.
that's huge.
Oh
And
yeah, dude,
especially,
I try.
you know, as the kids are getting older, you know, you said that you've got a clothing sponsorship essentially
That's
for
rad. He's one of
the
the-
youngest. And
Yeah.
like as they start to improve in their riding, you know, there's going to be more sponsorship, there's going to be more eyes on them,
Yeah.
and
Just
more
growing
people
it,
outside
like-
of just your community is going to see that, and they're going to see that it's a positive influence and not a negative one.
Yeah.
You know,
Definitely.
so I
Like,
think that you guys are doing a lot for the community and you guys don't even realize it. You guys are doing it for your family, but you're also helping.
yeah,
We
like
got
there's a lot of
farmers
other
around here that
young
they
kids
didn't
that
even know what a
ride.
dirt bike riding like that was, and they enjoy coming out and watching it when they hold those races, or they
Yeah.
do some hair scrambles, and there'll be people there. I've never seen this before. This is crazy.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
it's awesome. You should get a dirt bike.
Yeah.
That's what I.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone needs dirt
Everyone I
bikes.
meet, like if they're struggling with some alcoholism, I'll be like, you should get a dirt bike, man.
Yeah.
It's super fun. No,
That's what
I don't push it like that.
One thing, there's like not a
I
lot to
do
do
like
around
dirt
here, and so we always went partying, and we try to like invite the kids out to go riding and try to
Yeah.
get them out early and try to give them something to do, you know, like
There's
the
girl
track at
riders,
our
there's
house,
boys.
go to Hanson's, like let's get
Yeah.
a group of people together and go ride, or
They'll show up and
go
they'll be
to
like
the
20-some
races,
people,
and
20 dirt bikers. Like it gets crazy. We're very fortunate
It's
to
fun,
have those
and-
off-road parks there too.
yeah, and cooking out at Hanson's, and just the whole.
The traveling's just
all of
a
it.
bonus. The traveling's been a bonus.
Yeah,
We've been very
been
fortunate.
to a lot of cool places and seen a lot of cool stuff, and
Them boys been to Ohio 4 times this year.
yeah.
So you guys talked about traveling here in the States. Where would you guys want to go if you could go anywhere in the world? All expenses paid. You get to pick. You leave in an hour. Where do you want to go ride?
Erzberg.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's
Erzberg.
dude, just anywhere like a
I want to
super
ride that Iron Giant.
Yeah, I just any
That's
like
sick.
super tropical rainforest, or like
You like them mutters.
oh well yeah.
He's good at
Anywhere
mutters.
that's like just anywhere, man, everywhere.
Yeah.
I just want to be kind of like on my
Right.
dirt bike and seeing all the kind of the parts of the world that not everybody gets to see because they're not willing to get on their bikes and ride because they're not going to walk there obviously, or
Dirt bikes take
cars
you
don't
everywhere.
take
just
you
see so
there.
much.
You get to see some pretty cool stuff that
Not
So,
everyone
like,
gets to see.
I don't really have any certain spot all over. Romaniacs would be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool to go race.
The sea to sky.
Yeah.
Or you would do good on that beach race, probably.
Oh, I don't know about that
one's
one.
crazy.
I'm not a good
Yeah.
sandbagger.
You're a sandbagger.
Yeah, I don't know about that either. Maybe.
Oh,
I
I'm
don't
just
know.
kidding.
I'm not very fast. I don't think I wouldn't
You
say.
do.
I'd say you're a sandbagger.
Oh.
You should go to A class, so I could
Yeah.
probably win
I'm going
sometimes.
to go to A class. Next year, I'm going to
That'll
A.
be awesome.
Or probably 30A.
Yeah,
Because they don't have 30B, so I'm just running with the young bucks.
dude, I know, and they're fast.
They are fast.
I'm 36, so I gotta to go race a hard enduro in B class is like,
Yeah.
dude, you're competing against
year we
kids
went-
that just have so much energy and they just don't stop.
Yeah, last year we went
Yeah.
super hard on hair scramble. I won the 30B championship for Iowa. Jaylee won the
Oh yeah, you guys
women's
did all the
championship for
IRA,
Iowa. And Bentley won the super mini championship for Iowa. Hair scramble. That was
Wow.
sick. Yeah.
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 So then we totally flipped the coin this year and went hard enduro.
Yeah. We just did a lot of random races last year. We didn't really follow.
Yeah.
It's so much to dedicate your time to just one series.
Yeah. it
And
is.
like
Mhm.
I mean, I just like to go ride all these different. I like new places, because the first few years we did the same couple series
yeah,
and
or just you like
rode the
off-roading
same
just
place.
in general.
Yeah, just I
Like
just
it don't
like
even
be
have
in
to
the
be a
woods.
race as long as you're riding.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
I like racing, but I love riding too. So I'm happy doing whatever. If I'm on that bike, I'm stoked.
Dude, me too. I just like to be riding. I
Yeah.
can't wait to go ride this weekend.
Yep. We'll have to figure that out.
That's awesome. Lucky. I don't get to ride this week because the hurricane's hitting right now, and
gosh.
it's gonna be
Thing's
here.
nasty.
Yeah, it's. I thought I was safe in Tennessee, but apparently not. I was like, we're getting
Oh,
a
wow.
hurricane. But
I
yeah,
didn't know
we're
we got hurricanes either.
well, it's big enough that it's gonna like come over
Yeah, I heard it's
land,
huge.
With
like
rain.
all the way across. So it's hitting Florida right now and Georgia. So it's
Jesus.
gonna be here in like the next few hours. So
Our cousin lives down there. in Florida.
Yeah, she's like,
She's in
Yeah.
Tallahassee.
yeah.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, they're gonna get hit hard.
Yeah, she's like gotta stay. She's like a nurse or something. And she's got patients that aren't leaving, so she's got to stay to weather
Yeah.
through it. So hopefully everybody's safe down there.
Yeah.
And hopefully
Yeah.
they kind of misread the
Hopefully
storm and
everyone
it's
that
not as
listened
bad
had-
as what it is.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't
it's
got to deal with hurricanes in Iowa.
No.
Oh wait, I did see it. I
I
did see a tornado this year, like
Yeah.
driving home from work, and I'm like looking out the window and driving, and I didn't even know it was gonna storm. And it's like there's a
was just
tornado
there.
coming down, and I'm like, what the hell? There's a tornado, and it's like going right towards my house as we're driving, and I'm like, dude,
Iowans
there
are
is a
crazy,
freaking
too.
tornado like going to my house, and I just keep driving home.
Everybody just took pictures of it. Like they're not hiding.
Yeah,
like there's
no,
hundreds
dude.
and
So I
hundreds
just
of photos
followed
of
that thing home, and it just
Yeah.
went like a mile north of our house, and it wasn't like a huge tornado, but like that was an experience, not something I
Yeah.
ever seen before.
I lived in Oklahoma for 3 years, so I've experienced some
Oh, yeah, they know
tornadoes.
the tornadoes.
Dude, that's big time tornado central.
Yeah, we don't get into that.
Mhm.
We just get those derechos and harsh winters, which is
Yeah.
coming.
Oh,
A
yeah.
hurricane would
Yeah.
be wild to just. I'd probably go surf.
You don't know how to surf.
Try it out.
You're not surfing.
Yeah, I'd be
Go
big-
try to
big-
surf.
Big wave surfer.
You'll break
yeah.
your hip.
Dude, I surfed at the Kalahari. On
Yeah,
that
we
thing
did surf
once.
at the Wisconsin
That was
Dells.
it's hard.
The
Actually,
Dells.
I'm pretty good surfer.
Yeah.
What do I mean? We need to go back there and go surfing.
Yeah.
They got the wave machine thing.
Yeah.
Indoors.
There's a real wave machine out here.
Yeah,
Yeah, that'd be a whole nother level. Couldn't imagine.
Yeah,
that.
yeah, we're surfing.
It's really funny though. It's been raining all week because there was like a huge storm that came from inland, and then so it's been raining since like Sunday, and so we're already like flooding and everything here. And then the hurricane hits tonight,
and we're supposed to get tornadoes tomorrow.
What the
And so like, yeah, it's real great because everybody's telling me this at work. They're like, yeah, there's supposed to be a tornado on Friday, and the hurricane's gonna hit. And I'm like, you guys are not alarmed about this at all.
Yeah,
Like,
just
this
gotta
is
roll with
weird.
them.
Yeah.
They're
But,
gonna show up where they want.
Yeah, but all of the mountains around here, so there's like Doe Mountains where I ride, Brushy Mountain, Brown Mountain, all within like 2 hours of here.
Oh, that'd be
And
sick. Yeah,
all of them are closed right now, and they'll be closed. Well, like Brushy's closed all weekend, but Doe Mountain's just going to be closed Friday, and then they're opening again on Saturday. But the storm's not supposed to be done until Sunday. I was like, should I go ride?
Yeah.
Might as well.
Dude, I wish we had like
mountains.
yeah,
Yeah,
single track trails and stuff like that. I mean, we got the off-road parks and we have some single track through them, but like
yeah, we don't have
nothing like that. Like we went to Colorado.
Yeah.
We went to Rampart Range, but we mainly had the side by sides because we took the wives and our buddy Bill, and so we didn't really get to cruise a lot of single track. And I always wanted to go back, but like we've just been consuming our life really with racing.
Everything.
Yeah.
All the hard
stuff. It is. It's a lot, and it's expensive to kind of follow the series and any series, and you guys are following multiple.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot of time and energy, but again, it goes back to you guys are doing something so amazing for the kids.
Yeah.
And I just think that that's the coolest thing. Like I didn't get to do sports and stuff when I was younger. Like I would have killed to like be able to do dirt bikes like when I was young.
Oh, dude,
that was so fun. Or like I'm having so much fun.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah.
I would have loved to do it. We never really traveled too much when we were kids. I mean, it's like
we went to Indiana once. Like
a few times to our aunt and uncle's house, and we went to Florida once, and then that was it. Like never between Dubuque and Preston, so like 45-minute area was where we spent our lives, and like.
So we're traveling.
Never really thought.
Enjoy it.
Yeah, never thought traveling like this would be possible. And it's like it takes a lot to like. I mean, growing all our own food, so we don't have to buy food and sacrificing like.
Junk
I
food.
don't go buy new clothes all the time just so we can afford to go racing.
Yeah.
Like, Thad don't have a door on his bedroom. He's got a sheet hanging up because we bought this house and moved in, and I built the walls and stuff. And I'm like, I gave him the option. I'm like, dude, we can go race or we can put a door on. And he goes like, I'm gonna we'll go racing. So it's like
we're all in. Like,
yeah, dude. And it's like
sometimes we get checked. Like you gotta slow down buying parts.
Yeah,
it's like, oh dang.
It's definitely a lot when they're pretty hard on stuff and.
We just try to go to every race we can. Like, if the kids want to go, we're like gonna make it happen.
Try to make it happen and do whatever it takes to.
And then the cool part is we get a ride too sometimes.
Yeah,
it's fun. And the ladies get a vacation out of it. And
yeah, everybody's happy. Everybody enjoys it.
It's such a good time.
It's just positives all around. There's no negative about it. I mean, other than for you guys, your poor wallets, but that doesn't matter in the long run.
Yeah, you get more money every week.
Yeah,
like, you get more every week. So
work hard and
work
for what you want in life. Yeah,
that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna work hard and ride my dirt bike.
Yeah,
be a
go
father.
to work and be husband. Yeah. Enjoy it because you only live once. And
this is what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Well, in our last few minutes, do you guys have anybody that you want to shout out or anybody you want to say hi to?
Well, I probably won't be able to think of anything off the top of my head, but if you help us out in any way, thank you, because we do appreciate it.
Dude,
it goes a long ways with the kids too. Like they're gonna have that forever. That goes back to that. Taking something out of like hard enduro or racing in general, they're gonna have that when they're older. They'll be older and they could be nice to someone.
I definitely want to thank my dad. He he like when we go to races, he helps take care of our dogs. He helps with the chickens and water and stuff.
Does a
and
lot of running for us.
Does
We're
a
working
ton
and
of
stuff.
running. I mean, run after parts, you know, up to
Mom.
K's while we're working if he's got time. I mean, just anything he can do to help. He
My
definitely
mom too.
helps.
She has like paid the
Throw us
tolls,
some money for the
like
tolls to
tolls
go
and
to the
stuff.
last
She's
race
been
and to
paying
help
that. Like that's huge.
help contribute a little bit and
Yeah.
just I mean like
Anyone that supports us, thank you.
yeah, dude, there's a ton of help from the community.
Yeah.
Definitely pretty nice to have.
And the
everybody.
women, thank you. 'Cause
Yeah,
we
my
get
wife,
hungry.
like, so
we like cold drinks. And
cannot thank my
Fruit.
wife enough just for like, dude, it's expensive to do what we do. Like, it's
Yeah.
really expensive, and with the kids and to
There's a lot of them that
to-
race.
like,
That's
they-
the hard part.
they want to go on vacations. They want to go on vacations and lay on the beach and kind of, you know, they like to do other stuff than dirt bike too, and they sacrifice a lot to make it so. I mean, we can go have fun, but mainly the kids can go have fun and do what they like to do and make
Thank
it.
mom, dad.
Yeah,
That's it. Thank you for having us on here too. That's
yeah.
Yeah, thank you guys for coming on. This is great. I'm so excited for like everybody to hear your guys' story because
cool. Yeah.
like I said, I think it's super, super cool.
And if I forget your name at a race, I'm sorry.
That's totally fine.
Or like not you, but people that are listening.
In general,
I
yeah.
don't know your
I
race.
think
I'm easily
yeah.
recognizable. I look at people sometimes. Like, I don't know who you are, but hi, dude.
Yeah,
I feel bad.
I'm
So I'm
so
apologizing
terrible
for that.
about that.
That's okay.
But yeah, thank you for having us. This is fun.
Yeah,
It
of
was
course.
fun. So
If you guys want to stick around for just a second, I'm gonna end the recording real quick and just give me a minute.
cool.
Thank you guys for listening,
Yeah,
and we'll see you next week.